good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Go to bed, it's late or early, depending on where you are. Have a nap. Good morrow, I'm the goblin paid in Jaffa Cakes. Look, Russell, I get it. You want it to be Series 1 as a tidy up, a jumping on point. Maybe then, don't use a villain from the 70s and rely on knowing who they are for the reveal. Seriously, come into that blind, knowing nothing about who Sutek is, about the legacy of the character and such. If you came into that blind, it would just be, oh my god, it's not Susan, it's Sutek. Who that? I feel like the 9th Doctor era Russell had the right idea. What would be good is a true new start. You want a refresh? A change? Change, my dear. Picture the Goblin era. Trademark. The previous Doctor regenerates, and the credits roll. We do not show the regeneration complete. Then we have, hopefully after a break of a few years, episode 1 of our Series 1. We reintroduce the Doctor and our companion, the shorthand Best Doctor and Dorothy, and it's with these two that we get on with the show and actually do it with no need to watch the previous stuff. This is a true jumping on point. And I don't mean, oh hey, we're gonna call this a jumping on point by naming the first episode the pilot, but then also rely on the Missy Master. I'm looking at you, Moffat. What the hell was with that? Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, even with streaming in mind, Series 1 would be mostly episodic. We get to know Dorothy and this Doctor throughout the series. It is very important to make the most of the episodes we get. If we, say, only get 8 episodes, we do not do any Dr. Light episodes. Are you hearing me, Russell? How the hell did you put 2 in there? I'm not bitter at all, what do you mean? If we have enough episodes, the finale can be a 2-parter with a darker story. Arcs? Personal ones. No Bad Wolf or Cracks in Time. These are personal arcs with Dorothy becoming a different person at the end. The Doctor's arc can be personal also, but Dorothy is our audience window. Each new Doctor, each new change in production team should be a reintroduction of the character. This is even the case, and perhaps specifically more so, when we have a new Doctor who is a stark contrast to the previous one. We are getting to know a brand new lead and a brand new way of telling the story. Even with the same showrunner, each Doctor's era should feel unique, even if you aren't treating it as something brand new. See Series 1 and 2 of New Who. Series 2 of our Who, with hashtag Best Doc, we still have Dorothy. We have reintroductions to an old villain with a few changes, a new stage of Cybermen, or a Dalek story in the same vein as Dalek from 2005. Must have taken them all 5 seconds to come up with that title. Importantly, we have a background element, something present through a series hinting at the wider world of the Whouniverse. We can maybe build on some one-off villains from the Series 1. More of a wider view includes the reveal that not only can the Doctor change their face, but they have had faces that the long-time viewers have never met. That's right. This Best Doctor isn't 16 or 17. They are Best Doctor. There's a gap between who came before and our Doc. We have now got mystery for the long-time viewers. And people go, oh yeah, here's a thing with a long-time gap as well. Many things can happen in it. I mean, a lot of fan makers do this as well. They have a larger gap because you can have a lot of things change in the middle. For example, if the Master became a duck, Count Duckula, then the gap can kind of explain that. Hashtag bring back the Count Duckula Master. In the intervening time between previous numbered Doc and our Best Doc, something cosmic happened. Something that a Doctor had to deal with in the past. This is still, though, building in the background. Remember, this is just Series 2. Series 3. Introduce a second companion. Jade. Adventures! More 2-parters. In the finale, we reveal that Jade is actually a plant by the Master! Gasp! Another Time Lord! The context clues up this is another Time Lord, but on the opposite end of the moral spectrum to our Doctor. And even argue you should play up this parallel a bit more. Obviously, Series 3 would end with Dorothy leaving the crew, being killed or leaving. I prefer the latter, but Jade, realising that they are better with the Doctor's kindness, continues. Maybe. Again, it's optional if they continue or not. You could also have them die because the Master is that level of petty, or they could become the next main companion. This is very much up for debate. Now, the number of stories in each series would defo need to be taken into consideration for how these progress. If each series is only given 5 stories, please don't let me be tempting fate, then each of these planned series would need to be 2 each. Series 1, what we've just discussed, would need to be Series 1 and Series 2 to allow for enough time for these to actually, develop. Series Batman symbol. Don't even know what number is. This is the end. This is a massive multi-part story akin to classic series. The last story of the Best Doctor. This would be a celebration of Best Era. What comes between Series 3 and Series Batman symbol hyphen is up to obviously whoever's running the episodes there. That leaves the imagination for the audience as well to fill in the gaps. It does not need to be a straight continuation of the previous series. Fill in the gap, have some fun. It should be stated that the audience does not need to watch any of the old stuff to understand the Best Doctor's era. The culmination of the last world building things in this era should be in this big multi-part finale. It is a celebration of the Best Doctor. We can, as I said before, reintroduce stuff from old ones, but it's not a case of, oh yeah, you need to watch this classic serial to understand this. No sequels to old ones. Make this a fresh start with some new ideas. There's also something optional I would do in this matter. I say this is as optional as it would be a cool for side stuff, but not 100% needed for the show itself. Like I said, our new TV Doctor would exist a certain amount of phases after. Running at the same time as this though, we would have a Big Finish Doctor who would be a Doctor solely for audio. Maybe a little bit more comfortable referencing the show, as Big Finish isn't as mainstream as the show itself. The people buying Big Finish are already fans of the show. You don't have to do a jumping on point for this. You can if you want, but again, this is Big Finish. We know who's buying these. It's me, I'm buying them. And something else I'm buying, and again, something I'd love to do as a side thing for this, is a novel-only Doctor. They only exist in prose. These extra Doctors would take place before the Best Doctor to help give more presence to the time in between as something more experimental. You could even have a comic Doctor, or even an animated-only Doctor. Best thing as well, you wouldn't need to watch this one to understand this one. Book, comic, they could exist on their own. They each have their own domain. If you don't want to check out one, you won't be forced to in order to get the story of another. These Doctors would be different, experimental. You could actually try out some new things. Again, there's a gap. I mean, yes, you would, behind the scenes, need to know, okay, who takes place first? Is it prose, comic, and then audio? Or is it animated, comic, prose, audio? But that's something for if you did want to do this. So I really want to talk about this even more so, because the idea of medium-only Doctors is fascinating to me. I mean, take it a step further. Imagine video games. You're not playing as a Doctor. You are playing as a companion. You are a brand new, customizable companion. The Mass Effect of Doctor Who. Except you aren't being the main, you are being the companion, who in fairness is the main. And this Doctor, maybe they are changing slightly based on your own actions. You never know. Or hell, maybe Bioshock's a better comparison. Maybe you can adjust this Doctor, and how you create them, how you start them, like with their personalities, can affect the story itself. Maybe certain situations need a softer Doctor who's a bit more passive, or maybe some need the opposite, one who isn't afraid to kick a door down rather than sonic it. I mean, I love the idea of Doctors with different domains, as in, you are the prose Doctor, and we are following you through novels, and yeah, much like the expanded universe, these are able to be read in pretty much any order, obviously apart from maybe like a first one which introduces the companion, or hell, maybe you want to start it in media res, so they've already got Doctor and companion going. Who knows? It's limitless. This is a goblin paid in hopefully more Jaffa cakes by the end of this sentence. Good night, or good day.